Can't you see properly? Jungkook shouted, sitting in front of you on the couch while gently applying ointment to the teeny burn on your hand. You flinched a bit from the sting but stayed quiet. His voice was loud, but his hands, they were soft and caring. Who told you to work in the kitchen, huh? What were you thinking, Wine? He continued, clearly upset. You rolled your eyes and said calmly, Jungkook, it's a small thing, just a little burn, relax. He looked at you with sharp eyes. What small thing? It's not about the size. Why did you even go there? Where are the maids? Without waiting for your answer, he called out loudly, Sleep, where the hell are the maids? The maids came running into the living room, heads down, scared. You quickly held Jungkook's arm. Stop, Jungkook. Don't shout. It's not their fault. He looked at you frustrated. I want to make something for you. I just went to the kitchen to try. They tried to stop me, but they were scared to force me. Please don't scold them. He took a deep breath. You always doing silly things. You turned to the maids and said, You can leave now. I'm fine. They nodded and quickly walked away. Jungkook gently blew on your wound, holding your hand so carefully as if it would break. You watched him, his angry face slowly turning soft, his eyes fell with concern. Your heart whispered, How did I get this man, a mafia king, loving me like this? Your mind went back to the day you met him. Flashback. You were walking part-time at a coffee shop. One girl came running inside crying. Someone is teasing me near my car. You looked outside and saw a black car parked with a man leaning on it. Without thinking, you stomped up to him and shouted, Hey, you think it's funny to scare girls? The man turned slowly. It was not the guy. Behind him, in another car, was the real culprit. The girl ran to you and whispered, No, not him. That guy behind. You turned red in embarrassment. I'm sorry, you said, looking at him, but Jungkook smiled slightly and said, You have guts. I like that. And since that day, he started visiting the shop, following you, loving you, and now he was your husband. Had your breakfast? He asked, breaking your thoughts. No, not yet. He stood up. Wait here. You watched him walk to the kitchen wearing simple black pants and a loose white t-shirt. Hair messy, tattoos peeking through his sleeves. He was a dangerous man to the world, but your soft heart husband in private. He came back with a plate. Here, open your mouth. You smiled and obeyed. He fed you slowly, carefully watching your face. You look at him like that, and I might forget. I have a meeting, he said with a little smirk. You giggled, still chewing, but suddenly you choked. Wine, he panicked. Are you okay? You coughed a few times. He quickly picked up the water glass and helped you drink. You took small sips, then smiled weakly. Sorry, I lost in you, you whispered. He sighed in relief and chuckled. Can't you drink slowly? Dummy. You pouted. I was admiring you. He looked at you with soft eyes and kissed your forehead gently. You drive me crazy, he whispered. You stood up, went to the kitchen, and came back with a spoon. My turn, you said, and fed him a bite. Not bad, he said while chewing. Still need some salt. You hit his shoulder playfully. I'll remember that when you're hungry next time. He laughed, stood up, and said, I have to leave. Urgent call came just now. I'll take a quick shower. You nodded, eyes following him as he walked upstairs. Jungkook came down the stairs 20 minutes later wearing a black suit, hair still damp from the shower, watch shining, gun holstered under his blazer ready for whatever the world threw at him. But before stepping out the door, he stopped and walked to you. I'll be back soon. Don't move from the couch. No kitchen, no stunts. You smiled. Yes, boss. He smirked and leaned in close. I'm serious. I know. He cubed your cheek softly, pressed a kiss to your lips, short, warm, and full of meaning. Then he whispered, I'll burn the world if something happens to you again. You just stared at him, heart full. Jungkook was just about to leave the mansion when a guard entered the living room and bowed slightly. Sir, someone named Sana is at the main door. She says she's here to meet madam. Sana? Jungkook looked at you with raised brows. Your eyes widened as the name clicked. Oh, Sana, from college. You said with surprise. You quickly stood up and walked towards the door. The moment you saw her, your face lit up. Sana? She smiled brightly when finally you hugged her and said, Come inside. She looked around as she stepped into the grand living room, clearly impressed. Wow, your house is huge. Jungkook stood near the couch, straight and calm, watching the scene. You gently pulled Sana forward. Jungkook, this is my college friend Sana. She greeted him politely. Hello, I'm Sana, nice to meet you. Jungkook nodded slightly, his cold but respectful way of replying. Welcome. You gestured towards the couch. Come sit here. Then you turned to one of the maids nearby and said, Please bring some fresh juice. The maid bowed and left. You sat beside Jungkook on the opposite couch, while Sana sat in the middle, in between the two of you with curiosity. Why? It took me so long to find you, Sana said, smiling. Finally, I asked Jia. She gave me your number. I was shocked to know you aren't married. You laughed. Yeah, I didn't tell many people. Not even me. I felt so bad. She joked, then looked around the living room. Her expression slowly turned curious and slightly confused. Ryan, why are there so many gunmen in your house? I saw at least one near the gate. Is your husband some government officer? She asked innocently. Her voice full of curiosity. You looked at Jungkook and he gave you a small nod to go ahead. You smiled at her calmly. Don't panic, okay? I'll tell you. She blinked, listening carefully. You began. My husband is Jungkook. Before you could finish, her eyes went wide and she gasped, placing a hand on her mouth. Wait, John Jungkook, the Mafia king? You nodded slowly. Yes, but don't worry, he's not what the rumors say. At that moment, the maid came with the juice and placed it in front of Sana. She picked it up with slightly shaking hands and took a sip. I'm sorry, Van. I didn't know. I just came without knowing anything. I hope it's okay. Jungkook leaned forward slightly and said in a calm tone, Don't worry. I don't harm friends of my wife. You smiled at her and added, See, he's not as scary as they say. He's strict with others, but soft with me. Sana let out a deep breath and giggled nervously. Okay, that's a relief. Honestly, I thought you might be living a hard life because of your family's past. But God has been kind. He gave you a good life, but a loving husband. Your heart felt warm. You smiled and nodded. Yes, I'm lucky. Then you asked, So tell me, why did you come today? Sana's face lit up again. Actually, tomorrow's my son's birthday. He's turning 4. We are doing a small party at home and inviting some of our old friends to like a little reunion. That's great, you said happily. Of course, I'll come. She smiled wide. Please bring Jungkook too, if he is free. Jungkook, who had stood up by now and was adjusting his watch, looked at her. I'll come with one, but now I have to leave. Urgent call. He said politely and walked over to you. He bent down, kissed your forehead quickly and whispered, Don't go out without the guards. I won't, you whispered back. He gave Sana a nod and left the room. Sana looked at you with dreamy eyes, whined, I'm really happy for you. You look so peaceful and loved. You held her hand. Thank you, Sana. I'm glad you came. She stood up. Then I'll see you tomorrow. Of course, you smiled. I'll bring a gift for the little one too. Sana chuckled. He's going to love you. She hugged you tight. Don't disappear again. Stay in touch. I will. You promised. She walked to the door, escorted by the maid, while you stood near the entrance, watching her leave. Even though your life was surrounded by secrets, power, and danger, that day you felt like a normal girl again, laughing with an old friend. And in the middle of that large mansion, you whispered to yourself, Thank God for this life and for Jungkook. After Sana left, you climbed the stairs slowly towards your bedroom. The house felt quiet again. You were just about to enter your room when your phone rang. It was Jia, your best friend. You smiled and answered, Hey Jia. Fine, finally I was waiting to call. Did Sana visit you? She asked with excitement. Yes, she did. Just left a few minutes ago. You said, pushing open the bedroom door and sitting on the bed. Nice. I'm happy we're all going to meet after so many months. Jia said, her voice warm. I met you during your wedding and now again. I really missed you, Wine. Your eyes softened. I missed you too, Jia, a lot. You better bring Jungkook with you, she teased. You hesitated, thinking for a second. I don't think he will come. He's busy. Jia whined like a child. Just ask him, please. I want to see him once. You smiled. Okay, I'll try. Just then your phone buzzed. You looked down at the screen. Jungkook. Hey, I'll call you later. Jungkook is calling. You told Jia. Okay, bye. Love you. You cut the call and quickly answered Jungkook's. I was just thinking about calling you. He said, leaning back on the bed. Jungkook's deep voice came from the other side. Really? That's great, but I actually called to tell you something. You sat up straight, hearing the slight urgency in his tone. What is it? Is everything okay? Yeah, don't worry, he said calmly. Just a small issue. I need to leave the city tonight. My signatures are needed urgently. I'll be back by tomorrow evening. You felt a little heavy inside. Oh, okay, don't worry, he continued. I have already told the guards. They'll take care of you and make sure you reach the party safely. You nodded silently, heart dropping a little. All right. Jungkook sighed. Wine. I know you will miss me tonight. You said softly. I already do. He chuckled gently. But trust me, I miss you more. Just for this one night, princess. Stay strong. Be happy. I'll return soon. You closed your eyes. I'll be okay. Just come back safely. That's all I want. There was a pause. Then he whispered, Love you. You smiled softly. Love you too. You both stayed silent for a moment, feeling the connection through the call. Then he hung up. That night, you lay in bed, hugging the pillow. The silence around you felt too loud. The mansion felt cold without Jungkook's presence, but you reminded yourself he only leaves when it's truly important, so you closed your eyes and tried to sleep. Next morning, you were in front of your mirror, getting ready for the party. Your phone rang again. Chia. Why not you ready? You're still sleeping, she teased. You laughed. I'm ready, leaving in 10 minutes. And Jungkook is coming? She asked. No, he left the city last night. Work. You said keeping your voice normal. Oh, okay, you're coming at least. See you at the venue. Jia said excitedly. See you. Bye. You replied. You looked at yourself in the mirror. You wore a simple full flare frock in a soft pastel color. Minimal makeup, just a teeny pair of earrings and a bracelet. You had so many expensive designer pieces in your closet, but you always preferred simplicity. You walked downstairs. The guards were already waiting at the front. Ma'am, are you ready to leave? One of them asked, opening the mansion door. Yes, you nodded. They escorted you to the most luxurious car Jungkook owned. It was long, shining black leather seats, tinted windows, and bulletproof glass. But to you, it was just your usual ride. You sat inside and looked out the window. Midway to the venue, the car suddenly slowed down. The driver turned around. Ma'am, I'm sorry, there's something engine trouble. I have called a mechanic. It may take time. The head guard came near. Please wait inside, ma'am. I'll go bring the mechanic faster. You check your watch. You'll be late if you wait. Without thinking much, you opened your phone and booked a cab. Ten minutes later, you stepped out of the luxury car and into a normal cab. As the cab drove you towards the party venue, you sat quietly watching the city fly by through the window. You smiled to yourself, thinking, Jungkook's world may be dangerous and full of power, but I'm still the same girl, and I chose simplicity even in his luxury. You stepped out of the cab and looked at the beautiful party venue in front of you. The garden was decorated with balloons, fairy lights, and soft music playing in the background. Gia was already standing near the entrance waiting for you. As soon as she saw you, her face lit up. One, she shouted and came running. You hugged her tightly. I missed you, dummy, she said. I missed you more. You smiled. Then she looked behind you. Wait, what happened? Where is your expensive luxury car? You sighed. It broke down on the way, so I booked a cab. Oh, she said, surprised. You should have told me. I would have come and picked you up. You shook your head. It's okay, cab is just a ride. Not a big deal. You both walked inside the garden where the birthday party was already going on. Kids were playing, parents were chatting, and everything looked so lively. As you both walked further, you saw Nancy, the popular girl from your college days. She was standing with a group of her friends, laughing loudly. She was still the same flashy dress, full makeup, showing off her jewelry. You and Gia walked toward them politely. Hi, Nancy, you greeted. She looked at you for a second and then blinked. Do I know you? You were not surprised. You expected her drama. One from the same class, remember? You used to copy notes from me. Oh, she said suddenly with a fake realization. I thought you were someone else. I saw you getting out of that cheap car. Looked like a poor girl's entry. The other girls giggled. She's smart. still working at the cafe or finally got promoted to cafe manager? She laughed again. Jia clenched her fist and stepped forward, but you held her hand and shook your head gently. You calmly said, "Cabs are not cheap. They are daily friends to many people who work hard. Not everyone needs to show off money. Some of us value simplicity." Nancy rolled her eyes. "Oh, stop your boring lectures. You talk like this because you don't own an expensive car. My husband drives third most expensive car in the world. Ever heard of it?" He just smiled. "Good for him," he said politely and turned to Jia. "Let's go." You both walked away and went towards Sana, who was standing with her son. You bent down and said, "Happy birthday, champ." You handed the gift you brought. He smiled and said, "Thank you, Auntie." Sana looked happy. "I'm so glad you came." Soon games started. Among the guests, some were dancing, some playing quizzes. You stayed back, not interested in joining. "Wine, come join," someone called. "I'm good." You wait, but the Nancy Morgan called out loudly. "Come on, Wine, don't hide. Let's see what you are wearing. This next game is about who wore the richest outfit." You sighed. Jill looked annoyed, but you nodded and walked towards the circle, just to end it quickly. The host scanned everyone with a device that rated bands and fashion value. People clapped as numbers came up. You stood silently, knowing your dress was silver. That's when someone walked in. Jungkook. Your eyes widened. He was wearing an all-black suit, hair styled neatly, watch shining, walking with full authority. You looked down at your phone quickly. One unread message. "Ready for the surprise, baby?" You smiled softly. "So he planned this?" Sana noticed him first and whispered something to her husband, who was also working under Jungkook's Mafia business. Jungkook didn't come to you immediately. He sat on a chair away from the crowd. You both exchanged glances. You shook your head slightly. "Not now." Game going on. He understood and stayed still. Then Nancy saw him and didn't recognize him immediately. She turned to you again and asked, "So Van, who's test that frock? Street market trailer?" The girls laughed. Before you could reply, Jungkook stood up and walked towards you. He held your hand firmly in front of everyone and said, "Excuse me?" Nancy blinked in confusion. He gently pulled you with him and walked towards Sana and her husband. "Hello, Sam," Jungkook said, nodding politely to Sana's husband. "Sir," he straightened up immediately. You are here?" Jungkook smiled slightly and looked at you. "She's my wife, and I believe she's your wife," called his friend. Sana's husband jaw dropped. "What? She's your wife?" Nancy gasped. "Wait, Jungkook is your husband?" You smiled and nodded. Everyone nearby started whispering. Then came the bigger shock. One of the guests said loudly, "Hey Nancy, isn't your husband John working under Mr. John Jungkook?" Everyone turned to Nancy. Another friend from group added, "Wasn't that expensive car gifted by Jungkook sir 4 years ago as a bonus reward?" Nancy turned red with embarrassment. "That's not true." Jungkook turned towards her, holding her hand proudly. "I think you owe my wife an apology," he said firmly, "because she owns the most expensive car in the world, and unlike others, she doesn't need to show it off." Nancy's face turned pale, her head dropped in shame. "I'm sorry," she said. Jungkook didn't even look twice. He held her hand tighter and said, "Let's go, princess." He walked away with him as the crowd watched in silence. Some people clapped lightly. You leaned in and whispered, "You came early. I missed you," he said, "and I couldn't let anyone insult you while I'm breathing." You looked at him with pure love. "And that car," you whispered, "is that really more expensive?" He smiled. "It's not about the car. It's about who rides it." You chuckled. "Then I'm proud." He kissed your hand softly. Thank you for watching.